got my laces tied. My trusty podcast by my side. If you wanna talk fun, it's the place to be. Yeah, it's the drop, D-R-O-P.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun.
Welcome to the drop. I'm Thomas with Believe in the Run.
In case you needed an extra intro song, we just did the Monday Night Football theme. The acapella version. We should start an acapella group.
We should. Let's do some songs right now.
Take
on me. Take me on.
Come on, Meg. Get that high note.
Jump in.
I'm good. I'm going to pass on this.
What?
Oh, people, please comment and request Megan sings a song for everybody.
Dude, that brings me back to high school when you had to sing like the, what is it called?
National anthem?
No.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, da.
What is that called?
A doe, a deer,
just
a female deer.
It's called something. Anyway, we had to all stand up.
An octave? You mean an octave? Like the octave of all the notes?
Sure. No, I think it's from Sound of Music. Yeah,
it is.
A deer, a female.
But we all had to individually get up in front of the class and sing that, and you were graded.
No, by yourself.
By yourself. And it's not like, and I'm not a singer. It was just part of music class.
How do you grade that? Is it totally subjective?
If you were on pitch or not.
In high school?
In high school.
Oh, you went to an all-girls school. That was
Thank goodness. Can you imagine if I had to do that in front of a class with boys in it? I would have died.
I don't know. I think a woman that can hit the right octave is pretty hot.
Yeah. Let's see it.
I'm just telling you how scarred I was. I don't want to go back.
All right. I mean,
did you say who you are?
Robbie didn't either.
Oh,
did I? Oh, yeah. You
went into some insane thing.
Okay.
I'm Robbe with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And
the voice.
Yeah, the voice of Believe in the Run, Megan Murray. and I think I keep trying to get you to do it.
And I think that we always he's kind of our Quasimodo hiding out in the top of the belfry. But I think Karl should be.
Hunchback
Karl.
I'm
here.
Hunchback Karl. Jeez, Karl, you got downgraded.
It would
today.
be the Crunchback.
Crunchback Karl.
Crunchback Karl.
Curve spine Karl.
2.5 minutes in.
Colitis Karl.
Yeah. Wow.
Actually, he does.
All kinds of problems.
Yeah. I was trying to think of other diseases with the C, but I don't know.
Oh.
Let's not.
Yeah, we could.
we could
spend a long
time. Or a hard K sound.
COVID, Karl.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I have COVID because allergies are crazy right now.
Yeah, but how nice is it that all of the flowers are blooming?
I love it.
Feels like spring. We were debating yesterday, do you like spring or fall better?
Ooh, that's tough.
Right?
I think I like spring. I like the promise of...
I think I like fall.
Here's the problem with spring. It can start really nice, like you have a day like today where it's beautiful out.
Yeah.
Leaves start to bud. You have more birds in the neighborhood, and then you get slammed with a cold day, and it's miserable.
That is true.
Where I feel like in the fall, it's like you get a reprieve from the heat. The leaves start turning. The promise of chilies and soups and pies and
sweater weather,
Thanksgiving and all that stuff. But then you get hit with the real winter.
And then you might even have an Indian summer, which I don't even know if you're allowed to say anymore.
Like that.
But that's the best feeling ever when you get that warm day in the fall.
Yeah.
What do they call that now? False summer or something?
False winter?
I don't know. I bet you can't say Indian summer anymore because that was referring to Native Americans, right?
Maybe. I also heard before that, I don't know, you'd have to look it up. I heard that it all had to do with the actual country, India, but I don't know if that's the case. Who knows? I'm just making things up at this point.
That's probably true.
And that's true for most of my life.
I like that.
I make it up as I go.
Megan's doing research.
It's the same as like if you're trying to sneak into a concert or something. As long as you act like you know where you're going, people just think.
It says the phrase's origin is unclear, but it may have referred to the warm, hazy autumn conditions that allowed the Native Americans to continue hunting.
Okay, all right.
They stop hunting?
No, to continue the hunting season.
Right, I'm saying they stop hunting.
In the wintertime?
Yeah.
Well, I guess...
There's different animals out.
Because they didn't have Yeti coolers back then.
No, but you had like underground kind of storage cellars and stuff that I think could.
I don't know. If you're nomadic, like, I don't know.
They say the correct term to use now is second summer.
Second summer.
All right. I like that.
I like that too.
Second summer. Yeah, but anyways.
The problem is it's much shorter.
Yeah. Yeah. The second summer is like a junior. It's like a junior bacon cheeseburger, but not as satisfying in a way.
So, Rob, I know you're not watching it, but White Lotus has gone completely off the rails.
Don't even bring it up.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Glad to know.
Yeah. Karl, are you watching it?
No, but I did start Severance a few days ago.
Yes.
So no spoilers this episode.
Wait, which Severance are you on? First season or second season?
I'm on the finale of the first season. I think I'll watch that tonight.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's great.
That's probably the best
Debating on
episode of
keeping
It is
the
a
second
great-
season for like the plane ride to Kenya, but also I kind
yes.
of want to immerse myself.
I actually think that was a really smart idea. I was trying to think, I was maybe going to do Adolescence for
heard that.
the plane ride, but I don't know. It seems intense.
Yeah, it sounds intense.
Yeah, I did finish the season finale of Severance.
I did as well.
Did you think it was good?
I'm not gonna give any spoilers. I thought it was good in once. I actually did like the episode, like
Okay.
the way. I still feel like it's a little losty. There's a lot of stuff that's not gonna get. I feel like ever resolved in this show. I'm still gun shy from the Lost, the Lost business.
Lost really did a number on
It really
you.
did.
I can feel you on that, but I actually think it's going to get resolved. The thing that I thought was interesting that I like about this season, which isn't a spoiler, the duality that the split has created in that I think what they're really exploring is the identity. Mm-hmm. And so even with, what's his name? With his wife coming in and doing that, there's a duality to how you feel about the two sides of yourself.
No, I do like that. It's interesting.
Which, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's hard to fathom that you would have, like I would be mad if my innie was doing stuff with my wife versus my outie doing it. Like, it's
I thought that's actually one of my problems with the show is that I wish they would explore. That's such a deep, like, concept to think about that I wish they would have explored that more because they didn't do a lot with it. Like they have started to in the last couple episodes.
Do you think
that should be
that
a core tenet of the show?
I agree because I think that becomes a question of nature versus nurture.
Right.
Learn all that stuff, but it also could be like, how we all have sliding doors that they talk about, and like you have, what if I did this instead of that? Mm-hmm. You have that duality where you can see two lives operating at the same time with the same person.
Right. Yeah. Anyways, we don't have to keep going on about that because we'll
talk about that off air.
Okay, I got a quick question for you that'll bring it back to running.
Okay.
If you could give one of you your outie or your innie all your running, so you didn't know that you had to run, like say you had 20-mile run this weekend, you're like, I'm giving that to my innie, so I don't have to even think about it. Or would you say that as a pleasurable experience for your outie?
I don't understand.
There's two sides of you. Like imagine going to work, and when you get to work, you don't remember anything from
This
outside
sounds like
of
my
work.
life.
And when you leave work, you don't remember anything about work. So it's almost like having
Two dual lives?
Yeah.
Okay.
So which would you give your running schedule to?
Man, that's interesting. Probably my innie, most of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say innie.
Yeah.
So you just be like, I feel really fit. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
No, not maybe like half of it.
See, that's the thing. I wanted to make it so you can only give you. It's all or nothing. But then also
all or nothing.
Your innie, you give him all your training, but he also runs all your marathons, so you don't even know that you ran a marathon.
Yeah, but I guess that. No,
Dude, if I just show up and like I wake up and there's a medal on my bed, dude, it's awesome. What are you talking about?
I can make that happen.
You've got 6-pack abs and you don't remember any of
what?
it?
I don't feel any of it.
But then I do something stupid, like I just be like smoking cigs all the time, and then my innie be like, dude, why do I feel horrible every time I'm trying to go run?
Yeah, they don't get into that. You never have an innie with a hangover.
Yeah. Yeah, how about like, and they don't explore that at all.
Because totally, if there's no repercussions, like if you didn't, like if you're like, hey, tomorrow I got to go to work, you're like, yep, I'm gonna stay up late and party, and then my innie will have to deal with it.
I guess they would tell you, they would say, oh, your innie's like being horrible, like taking naps at his desk at work. You need to stop drinking so much.
Sent to the break room.
He's gonna get fired.
He's running 12-minute miles, taking breaks every 30 seconds. All right. But yeah, that's an interesting concept. I never thought about that.
Yeah, because I will tell you this. I don't know I would have started running if I hadn't been out of shape. So like if my innie was doing it and I didn't know about it, and my Audi was like fit and felt great and stuff, I'd be like, eh.
But now that you do run and you get the endorphins and you know it makes you feel good, wouldn't you want that too?
I do. And I also like, unlike Karl over here with the medal on his bed, I like the medal wouldn't mean anything to me if I didn't
Right.
Yeah.
go through the experience.
You still did it though.
But what if you what if you both like to run though, and then you're trying to do your workouts, and
Then you're Megan.
and you're super tired because you're like, dude, why? I'm just and you
Doubling
think you're-
up.
and you think you're just a terrible runner because
Yeah.
you can never.
Actually, think about like if you did doubles and you didn't know you were doing doubles.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're like the fittest dude, and you're like, I don't know what it is. I only did 50 miles this week. And he's like, yeah, I only did 52.
It's an interesting theory.
I like it.
All right.
I would, yeah. I thought I was going to hate the weightlifting stuff, but I like that.
Yeah. Wait, so what's that? Oh.
That, like, whether or not, I was like, but I send the weightlifting to my innie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I would if there was an option for that. All the cross training and weightlifting and strength training is going to that person.
See, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. But you ran 20 miles this weekend, right?
Yeah, I even saw Karl at one point and he was flying. I was coming out of Fort McHenry, and
Are the cherry blossoms bloomed there yet?
I feel like this morning I saw
They
some.
started.
Yeah.
So this week
Yeah.
was this weekend.
Karl, you think we're gonna have leaves on trees before we leave for Africa, or are we gonna come back and it's just gonna be like boom, leaves everywhere?
Dude, that's a good question.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
not
even
sure
think
yet.
about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely going to peak while you're gone. Like everything's going to happen while you're gone.
I did. Speaking of virtual, though, I did do something really fun this week on the WAHOO kicker.
Okay.
I found out I was watching Ben Johnson's channel, and
You were being fluenced.
I was being influenced by Ben Johnson while I'm fluencing. And then so he was showing like how you can load maps into the WAHOO Kicker app, which I've been mostly using the Zwift app. But I was like, okay, I'll check this out. I was able to go onto Strava, find the official London Marathon. They have basically a Strava channel for the London Marathon that
Okay.
has all their courses on it. So even their park runs and their halves and stuff like that
Oh.
are all on there. And I just got the London Marathon, dropped it on the WAHOO kicker. So when I was doing my speed work, I was actually running the first 10 and a half miles of the London Marathon.
really?
Yeah, so it's really cool. Like you're like, okay, if I get to this part in the course and it starts feeling like I'm working hard, it's because,
Can you do that for any race?
yeah.
Oh. So you
And
can
it-
simulate the Boston Marathon.
Yeah, well, if I would just go to because I have the Boston Marathon course, I could go to my Strava account, find my Boston course, and
Okay.
send it. You save it into your
Oh, interesting. I got you.
into your thing, and then you can open it on the WAHOO app.
And so, what was I going to say? So the Boston Marathon course.
The thing is, though, that on the treadmill, you couldn't get it like jammed with people for the first 5
Right.
miles.
yeah.
You'd have to,
You can invite us over. We could stand.
Yeah, I'll
and
just stand
Oh,
really
yeah.
close to you.
yeah, throw cans
Run a
at me.
14-minute mile in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh, what I was going to ask is, for certain hills, can it get that grade though? On the treadmill?
It goes up pretty high.
Okay.
I forget it. The negative, it will only go, I think, -5. So you won't get. But I'm telling you, on a treadmill, going -5 on
That
it.
feels crazy.
Yeah.
What's like the highest grade at, say, the Boston Marathon or something? Do you know?
I'd have to look at the things, but there was nothing that when I was doing the course for London, there was nothing that it was not following the elevation. Meg,
Okay.
can you look up the max elevation for the Wahoo?
I think you can do it because it says Heartbreak Hill is the approximately 3.3% at
Oh,
its
wow.
sharpest
All
point.
right.
And
Okay.
I
that's
want to
nothing.
say the treadmill goes like 10 or 15.
Yeah.
Really?
It does.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So there was nothing. 3.3 doesn't sound right because
It doesn't.
I was doing some of the London hills, and some of those were at 4%.
I mean, I will say
Huh?
the hills in Boston aren't that steep though. They're just long. I feel like.
I don't know. For the painting, I did the elevation thing, and there's one bump, and it's got to be Heartbreak Hill. That's just like, I think it's in the manner of which it goes up.
This
but
other source says Heartbreak Hill is half mile long at 5% gradient.
that makes more
So-
sense.
All right.
Nice.
No, Karl, here's the thing. Like, I wouldn't, people, it's called Heartbreak Hill because of what happened. A guy lost the race at Heartbreak Hill. Like, he got passed. He was leading the whole
I
time.
thought a girl broke up with him. Right.
I was
Well,
gonna say, I
she
thought
did.
everyone got divorced on that hill.
What happened was
It actually sounds like a song Karl would write.
his girlfriend saw him losing, and she was like, I can't hang out with that guy.
Yeah.
And so she
Double
left him, and
whammy.
she started a running store right there where she was standing.
Oh yeah. I imagine that happens a lot during that race. People who have girlfriends come or husbands or wives or what, people. They come in and watch them. And they're like, "What am I doing? Why am I here?
why am I
This
with
is
this
raining
person?"
and cold in the middle of some bum ass town in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
and I'm watching this guy run up a hill, struggle to
With
go up
nipple
a hill.
tape on?
Yeah. What am I doing?
And definitely no one looks good going up that hill.
No.
He's wearing calf socks.
You see your future because they age 20 years,
Right.
so you see what they're gonna look like,
You
and you're
do.
like, I'm out. This is done.
That's where it ends. It all makes sense.
In fact, if you want to know if your marriage will last, just see and you're married to a runner, get him at the top of Heartbreak
yeah.
Hill. And then
maybe like not quite the top, like
You
right
always-
before it.
And then make your decision.
Yeah.
You always see people getting engaged at races. I wonder if anybody has broken up at a race.
If anyone proposed at the top of Heartbreak, that is the worst decision in the entire planet.
But that would be a great place to break up with someone. Like, hold up a sign.
Yeah.
Like, glad you made it this far. It's going to be easy from here, except for your heart is actually broken.
I mean, that would actually be pretty savage.
Yeah, it would.
I mean, that would be good. Like, I know you cheated. It's over.
And then they just run 5 miles back to Wellesley and try to find a new girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Or you'd be like, hey, you're 10 minutes behind what you were hoping to do today, and we're breaking up.
Yeah.
Your PR is out of here.
Yeah, I'm laughing at you.
You suck at every version of life.
I've been tracking you.
Don't worry, Karl. None of these signs really exist. It's
Yeah.
just nice people at the top.
Okay. I'll take your word.
You should write a song called Heartbreak Hill.
I think I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Get Up Kids have a song called 4 Minute Mile, or album,
Yeah, that is true.
and a Mass Pike, so it all kind of ties together.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, the hill before Heartbreak is actually the worst one.
Okay.
Fact.
And what mile is that at?
18?
So all the hills start around 16.
What are those called?
Newton Hills.
Newton
Newton
Hills.
Yeah, so like
Not
you
because
go
they're
down this
stuffed with
crazy.
figs or anything. It's just
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the name of the town.
Love the Newton.
As soon as you go down this crazy sharp, which is super fun, hill around like 15, you just know that they're coming. And there's 4 or 5. I think there's 4.
They just keep going. You always think that's the last one, and then there's.
But
another one.
here is a good thing. There's also some downhills on those.
Yeah, all of them.
And honestly, if you've run the race correctly, I don't think they're the worst.
I agree.
It's actually like I've run flat marathons where you're just like your hips are just like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I just wish there was a little bit of variation.
Right.
Boston's the only marathon that I have negative split.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So
You're also kind of a robot. So
No, if you want a robot, Ben Johnson,
I know
check
Ben,
out
yeah.
his
yeah.
splits, man.
yeah.
That's a robot right there. Yeah, I'm reading this book called North Woods, which takes place close to there because they've mentioned Newton and Natick. Is that how you say it?
Sure.
Natick. Sorry for all you Massachusetts.
You're gonna have to call Laura
people.
Green to get the correct
Yeah.
pronunciation.
But it's cool, like, thinking about, it's like the story is this property or land, and everything that happens there from like the 1600s until now.
Like Paul Revere and
it's
stuff.
a long saga of. But anyways, it's a good book.
So is it have like Ben Affleck in it?
Yeah, he's the main character.
Like Paul, that would be the story from Paul Revere to Ben Affleck.
Well, so I was thinking about this. Did you ever watch Voyage of the Mimi when you were in high school?
No.
Okay, because that was in the like early 80s, but we still watched it when we were in elementary school. And Ben Affleck, it was one of his first roles. He was like 8 years old. And I was thinking about that recently.
What's the story about?
It's just like a science show that I think was for PBS or something like that. It's like kids aboard this ship, and then they learn survival skills and stuff. It might have been pretty niche like back then.
I have never heard of it.
Yeah. Because I was looking up what like kids wanted to be in the 90s, and I forgot that marine biologist was like the number one thing because of Free Willy, dolphins. Like
I did want to
thing.
be a dolphin trainer.
Did you?
Yeah.
They said that this one guy was like, he was a pickup guy, and he was like, I just tell him I'm a dolphin trainer. He goes, who knows anything about dolphin training? Like, so it's like real easy. You're just like, yeah, train dolphins.
Oh, he was just like telling girls that he's a dolphin trainer?
He was telling girls.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could definitely fake that.
Karl, have you tried that?
No, but I'll keep that in my back pocket. Next time.
How far did you go down that road, Meg?
What road?
Dolphin training road.
Oh, not far.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, that's something I want to do.
You would have never done that.
Why?
Because you're afraid of the water. You wouldn't go in.
Dude, they're in pools.
So
they're not in oceans.
You're going to work with captive ones.
That's what dolphin trainers do.
That is true.
They don't work with ocean
Yeah, you're not out in the open ocean.
dolphins.
I do think that it actually makes me a little angry and sad that there's no dolphin show at the National Aquarium anymore.
Yeah, it's
We
dumb.
know why this is the dumbest thing possible.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, did we already talk about this on the podcast?
I think that this should be a weekly segment. Bring that back.
Bring it. We should protest outside the aquarium one of these days.
Yeah.
Get dressed up in those costumes that we used to have.
The shark costume.
yeah.
And just stand there with signs. Let the dolphins play.
Exactly. I mean, can you imagine if you're in a band and some aliens came down there like, I don't think it's good that these guys are playing music in front of people for their enjoyment.
We're still going to keep them in that pool, in the club. We're going to make them
Make them stay in the club.
stand on a beer
Stand on
soaked
stage.
stage.
I mean, that's basically what it is. Like, they're still in there. They can't leave.
You can jump around with your instruments. You just can't turn them on. That's
Yeah.
basically what they're telling me.
This morning, Thomas sent me a reel of someone in Mexico who's doing cage diving with sharks,
Okay.
which I've always kind of wanted to do because that seems terrifying, but also like cool because you're in a cage,
And
you're protected.
And you love sharks.
And yeah, I love
You should do
them.
that.
Okay, but he sends me this reel where there's great white, so they put like bait out so the sharks come.
Right.
And this shark jumps to get the bait and then jumps over the cage into the cage.
Oh, it's open at the top?
Yeah, because that's how you get in and out.
But doesn't it have a lid?
You should have
No.
closed a lid. It probably does have a lid.
Okay, well, this shark is then in there, and you see all these guys just like freaking out on the boat because like this shark is just flailing inside the cage, and then you
Yeah.
see blood, and then you don't see the person, and then you're just like, and all these guys are like freaking out, and they've taken their hats off, and then the person just comes up to the top and takes out their scuba mask and is like totally fine.
Well, the shark jumped out,
yeah,
Okay.
but I
So
didn't
it's safe.
see how
I would
the
have had a
shark-
heart attack and died while
So
I
you're
was
telling
in
me
there.
it's a safe thing to
No, it was horrible. Like I'm, we don't know how battered that guy got. Like imagine being.
He looked
in there.
fine.
Yeah, because
He's
all
in
you
shock.
saw
Yeah,
was
he's
him
in
pulling
crazy
his
shock.
mouthpiece out. He looked fine.
The dudes were like patting him on the back. They were like clapping. Like
Whoa.
he was all fine
Yeah,
and
but then
dandy.
like you heard people yelling, is there anybody in the cage? Is there anybody in the cage? And like, yeah.
Well, I saw this story of a shark whisperer woman. If you Google it, she'll come up. But she,
I know her.
Oh yeah,
who
I
takes
know
like
her.
the hooks out of people's not. Yeah, they're humans now. Like sharks' mouths, and she's done it for. They just come up to her now, and she'll just take them out. It's like they know that she's there to help them.
She's
One of them's not going to know.
she's a de-hooker.
She's done it for like 20 years.
What?
That's a pretty good track record.
It is, but
It's not like the people raising baboons or whatever.
Or the tigers,
yeah.
where all of a sudden,
Are we talking about Joe?
Tiger King?
No, he's cool. He knows what he's doing. He's got it all figured out.
All right, first check-in. Oh, I love this time of year. It's the long run time. It's the big miles. It's when you actually feel like you're doing something with your running. You know, like you get a little nervous. You got to race. When you do a run, you're like, how is this going to translate to race day? And you start getting ahead of yourself. Just enjoy it. Stay where you are. Just don't try to correlate everything to what the result will be on race day. Do the work. The rest will follow.
All right, this week, SWIFTWICK is again sponsoring this episode, and we're here to talk about their new style of Flight XT socks.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Flight XT. It has that medium cushion, medium compression. It's just the perfect middle ground for any kind of running, really.
I'm wearing them right now, so you don't even need to be running, Robbie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're very comfortable. I like also, you know what's nice about these? You don't have a F, L, and an R. You can just, I was going to say left and a right, but you can just put it on either foot and you don't have to waste your time trying to find that. Because I have a lot of socks.
And if you lose one, you're done.
And
It's
you
over.
go through laundry, and what's worse than balling up a pair of socks, getting ready for a run, pulling out the socks, and you've got 2 R's.
Yeah. Nothing could be worse.
Yeah.
Nothing could be worse than 2 R's.
Okay, but these fit great. I like the extra arch support and the little bit of banding that goes around that. It really keeps that midfoot feeling good.
Yeah, we're all big fans. So if you guys want to get some new socks, you can go to, we'll put this link in the show notes, but you can go to swiftwick.com/collections/believe, and you'll see some of our favorite socks are listed on that site, on that landing page, and then you can get an additional 15% off your first purchase with the code BELIEVE15. Speaking of animals being crazy, this weekend I went on a 20-mile run with Kara, who I've been running with.
Is she the crazy animal?
No, but this is also a PSA for anyone who runs in Baltimore downtown by the aquarium. There's a goose who has laid eggs and created a nest in one of the pots right next to the aquarium.
Oh, really?
And it's the mom is obviously sitting there all day, but the dad just hangs out to protect them. Mm-hmm. And we're coming around the aquarium, and I see like this goose like from far away, and it's doing that thing where it's like crouching down and then like picking up the pace, but its head's lowered, and it's coming like right at us as we're coming around. And I'm like looking at Kara, and I'm like, and she's like thinking we're gonna play chicken and win against this thing.
Wait, chicken against a goose?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. And so like she's still running, and I'm still kind of running, but kind of like slowing down. And all of a sudden this thing flails out its wings, and it's like huge, like massive. And it starts like flying towards us and making all these noises. And so I just turn around and I sprint, and Kara like screamed and then turned around, and it didn't hit either of us. But I was laughing so hard for like half a mile that I couldn't run.
Do geese look like dinosaurs to you? Like when I think of like Jurassic Park, and when you're up
They are
close to 'em,
dinosaurs.
they actually to me look,
Yeah.
that looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah, I'm more scared of them than probably a black bear in the woods.
A goose?
Yeah.
Can't the wings like actually hurt you?
I don't know. I just feel like they're evil in some way. Like they come from a DNA strand that isn't of this earth or something.
You can tell there's hate in their
Oh,
eyes.
if there's a hateful animal, it's definitely a goose.
Yeah, they look at you and they're like, because even when I run by them all the time in the same area, but I'm like, look, I'm not even close to you. Like, you guys are walking across
Yeah,
the
they're
path.
always trying to start shit, and they're taking dumps everywhere.
That is true.
I do feel like you could pick them up though and just swing them around and take
Yeah.
care of things.
Yeah, and then just have them for dinner, I guess. Are those the
Yeah.
kind you can eat?
Yo, I think you can eat any bird.
The Canadians?
Yeah.
The Canadian geese?
Yeah. I don't understand why it's illegal to kill them. Like, you should just be able to go wild on those things.
Because
There's
that's
so
like
many.
their bald eagle.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Making it up as you go.
I don't know. I just... Like, when people were all mad about Haitians killing geese, and
Isn't that what the jackets
that
are
whole-
stuffed with?
Right. They were like, people were like, oh, there's Haitians killing geese. I'm like, yeah, good. Which isn't even true, but, wasn't even true, by the way. But I'm like saying...
You're telling me that nobody's...
Why is that a bad thing? I don't understand.
I mean, what is a Christmas goose? Is that a different looking animal?
I was assuming it was of the Canadian variety. Maybe it's of the American variety.
It's the difference between Canadian bacon and regular bacon.
Yeah, could be. I mean, if you're going to eat an animal, the one that's evil is probably the best. I don't know if that'll get into your system now.
I don't understand why they're not more popular for food because they're as big as a turkey.
Yeah.
They're like,
Are they a little greasy? Is that what it is? Look up
I
if
don't
they're
know.
greasy.
I don't want to. I'm not
too
Googling
lean.
that. I'm not typing that
Not
into my.
geesy, greasy. Look that up.
I'm not typing
This
that
is why I
in.
need
It's
my
like Kevin
computer.
Spacey.
This is why we can't record them.
That's why you can't do audio
Backups with
backup.
me.
You're at a loss.
And I left my phone at home. I'm like, I just want to like.
Left your phone at home?
This is the best. Robbie biked to the office, forgot his computer, ran back home, forgot his phone, walked back to the office with us because we don't have a car.
It's like that fox and the chicken riddle where you're trying to get the flour across the river, but you can't. You know what I mean? What was the other?
Are you talking about the frog and the scorpion?
No. There's a fox, a chicken, and a flower. The chicken will eat the grain. The chicken will eat the grain. The fox will eat the chicken. You have to figure out how to get them all across the river,
Okay.
and you can only take two you have to take two at a time. It's
How wide is it? Can I throw them?
no,
No.
You have to take them in the boat. It's basically you take one.
Okay.
Just look it
No,
up.
no one needs to know about this.
Anyways, but so what happened, since I had jury duty yesterday,
Oh, yeah.
that throws everything off because my whole schedule's messed up. I'm taking my computer in a different backpack to jury duty, and then once I'm off, the next day's all a mess.
It's domino effect.
Yeah. Which I didn't get picked for jury duty, which we talked about.
Do you feel unpopular when you don't get picked?
I do. I feel a little offended. And I told you this. I just feel like, why am I not good enough? When I'm standing in front of the defense attorney and the state's attorney, and the worst is that the state's attorney was like acceptable. And then the defense says, we asked juror number 924 to sit down. I'm like, motherfucker. Like,
You look like a narc.
That's like literally the best feeling in the world when you
Yeah.
don't get picked.
That's my feeling. Like
Yeah.
when we're in there and they're like, can juror number 1 stand up? And you stand up and they're like, nope. I'm like, yes.
I'm always like
I
trying to
gotta go
think of
home.
like, what can you wear that makes you look crazy or
one of
something.
Kanye's new t-shirts.
Yeah.
Do one of those.
Seriously.
Like, so that they're like, no, not that one.
I was told back in the day to wear like rosary beads or like a crucifix that's like really visible.
If you wore a MAGA hat, you would definitely get.
Are you allowed to
yeah.
wear hats? in
Dude,
the courthouse?
Dude, I'd be
They-
scared.
They don't. You're right. They don't let you wear it into the courtroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
And can't you like not even have like graphic tees on?
You gotta
or
have
something?
like
They don't want them.
semi-professional.
I'd say Baltimore City's a little
different.
They,
Yeah,
they
this
request
checks
that you
out.
don't,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like flying on an airplane. You can show up in slippers and PJs.
Yeah. But no, I felt I always want to get picked because not so much here because I have a lot of work to do, but when I was with the government, like working with the Coast Guard, it was like a free vacation because you just have to. It's not like I had to catch up on work when I got back, and then you get to see behind the scenes like what's happening and
What would you think
how's this
about
work?
temporary tattoo on the face and that looked like a real tattoo? That might be able to do it.
You could do that.
Some teardrops.
But here's what happened. So there's already 2 white males on the jury, so I knew I probably wasn't going to get picked. So they rejected me, and then there was another white male that came up like 3 after me. This guy is decked out. He was an Under Armour employee because he was the only people who dress in Under Armour from head to toe are Under Armour employees. And I was like, if they pick this guy, I'm going to protest in person in front of the judge. Say there's no reason this guy should get picked over me. They didn't. They rejected him. So I was like, all right.
Like, psh.
Wasn't me. It wasn't me. All right. Anyways, but it would have been a 5-day murder trial. So
I do think-
kind of glad I didn't get picked.
In the jury that I was selected for, I think the guy would have gotten off without any charges if I hadn't have been there.
If you hadn't had been there,
You were the
Yeah.
one who impacted things?
I was the one who said, hey, he clearly did this. We watched it on video. And they're like, yeah, but, it's not like he did it.
Dude.
And I'm like,
yeah. Don't even get me started. That was after I served on that murder trial a few years ago. I was like, I have zero faith in the jury of my peers because it's crazy. Like the conspiracy theories and like, oh, what ifs are nuts.
That stuff, but also like people were saying, like in our neighborhood, that's okay to do. Like, and I was like, what do you mean you can't assault someone?
Oh,
And
I see.
they were like, no, he didn't really assault. I'm like, he got a bat out, threatened the guy, and punched him in the face.
Yeah.
That's assault. And they're
Right.
like, yeah, but he was probably talking. He's probably
justified.
Talking. Yeah. He was like, he didn't get out of his car fast enough.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's not how this works.
Like people watch way too much TV or take that as like the CSI effect, which
Real,
I've heard
yeah.
about
Oh,
before.
yeah.
It's
I have
crazy.
a question for you. So I don't know enough about the case, but that guy in Idaho that supposedly murdered a bunch of
The college kids?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then they showed him, like, I don't know if he's guilty or not, but they showed him, he took a selfie like short time after those kids were killed. And it looked like he just got out of the shower and he has a smug look on his face. And
It's creepy
it's
AF.
It's the creepiest. I'm like, I don't know. Like that one, I might just convict him for that selfie.
like if you look like the Joker in a selfie.
I mean, it was,
Can you pull it up?
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
You
What's
got
his
it.
name? I don't-
It's something burger.
Idaho guy.
Yeah, Idaho
Idaho guy selfie.
college dude. Yeah, like I'm like, oof. I don't know much about the case, but this dude looks like he's guilty now.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
let me see. Oh, yeah. Dude, that's literally Christian Bale in American Psycho.
Let me see him. Yeah, and I think that's what he's going for.
Like what? Oh, 100%. No chance.
Oh,
like
jeez.
straight to jail. Just
Megan
go-
didn't even
save
That's
the tax
just a
money.
Google Images. She didn't even pull up like the full size shot.
I didn't need to.
Yeah, no question about it. But anyways, so that was my day yesterday. But I do love that. When,
Where'd you go for lunch?
I was just gonna say that they give you that $20 in cash for lunch. It feels like you inherit, like you won the lottery or something, like a scratch off that you just hit.
They gave you fives, right?
They gave me 2 10s, I
Oh.
believe.
I was when I was on the case. I was there for 2 days or whatever, 3 days, and I went to Halal Brothers every day.
Oh, nice.
I'd love that.
Yeah, I go to Mekong Delta, which is like Vietnamese pho.
I think I went there with Lynn when he came in town. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, it's like my favorite place.
It's in that like weird building.
The weird strip mall
Yeah,
place. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
But it's the best food ever. And on a cold, rainy day, like a big bowl of pho.
That's one of
So
those
good.
spaces that you don't know where you are. Like you could be nighttime, daytime.
Yeah.
You could be in Detroit. You could be.
Yeah.
It like it
New York
doesn't.
City.
It doesn't exist in reality.
It's a weird vortex of a space. But
And time. I like. It could be the 80s. It could be the 90s.
yeah, totally. It's like, it seems like it could close in the next day, like whatever that space is. And somehow it's just there year after year.
Did you ever see the movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger goes to Mars?
Oh, I didn't know he ever went there.
Oh yeah, Total Recall.
Oh, right. I haven't seen that.
Oh, it reminds me of when he gets to Mars, what the little village was like. That's the inside of that building.
Okay. I'm going to have to take your word for that.
I can't think of Arnold Schwarzenegger now and
You
not.
can't say it either.
I know. That's a hard name. Say it.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
Okay. And not think of his son now.
Oh boy.
And his son plays a really weird character in
is
the
he
White
in
Lotus.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is not a good role for him. Like his first premiere.
What do you
role.
mean? He's like, I think the acting in the show is actually quite good.
Yeah.
Are there more Nepo Baby actors than ever before? Because I feel like half the shows now
Yeah.
is just,
Someone's
it's just
kid.
someone's kid.
I don't know, man.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, when we see. Yeah, I guess there are. It seems like everybody's traceable back to somebody.
All right.
But that's like, if you work in a coal mine, chances
Yeah.
are.
I mean, it's fine. If you do a good job, you do a good job, I guess.
Like how many
It's
plumbers have sons that are plumbers?
Nepo plumbers.
Yeah.
I mean, that is usually a family business.
Right? It's always somebody and son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I guess as long as you're good at the job, it doesn't really matter.
The acting's pretty good.
The acting's good, but the stuff that's happening is burning holes in my head that
Yeah.
I can't erase. Like I don't finish the show and go, "Oh, that was relaxing. Let's go to bed."
No, that's why you can't watch it right before bed.
Yeah. Meg's also got us watching The Bachelor, and this dude's saying "I love you" to everyone.
No, just 2 people. He already picked one, and I haven't seen anything on social media, and I'm not looking.
And The Bachelor still is just going strong.
Yeah.
All these years later.
Yeah.
I think it's just a machine to load up Paradise Island or whatever. What's it called?
Bachelor in Paradise.
Bachelor in Paradise. That's the show.
Okay.
That's the free for all. That's all the people who didn't get picked. They go someplace.
They put them on an island.
and they hook up all week with each other.
This is how Epstein's Island came to be.
Yeah, I think that was a younger island.
Okay. That was for HBO Plus, Max, whatever.
Yeah. They released the Kennedy Social Security numbers.
Did they do that? Social Security?
So when they released the papers on JFK, they didn't redact Social Security numbers of living people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so people are kind of upset about that.
Oh, man.
People are blaming the president, but I don't know that he read them.
Oh, no chance.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like he was like, oh, hey, guys, we got to take care of this.
No, there's no chance. Yeah, I haven't read through them yet. Maybe I'll do that. Just to make sure everyone's...
That's the
Accounted
thing, though.
for?
I was talking to someone. There's no like, oh, this was the CIA with, Cuba or something like that.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, everyone's... It's like, you really think they're going to release... Like, if that happened, that they're going to be like, I don't care who's president. They're not going to do that. The same thing with the Epstein files. I'm like, dude, Donald Trump was hanging out with him, on multiple occasions. There's
That's
no
how he
way,
knows, though.
There's no way you're going to see those files.
That's like when Trump said, I know it's a rigged system because I take advantage of it.
Yeah. It's like-
Here's the Epstein papers. I was there.
By the way, that's not even political. That's just a fact. Like, no, if you're associated with someone in any way, you're not going to let anything come
that's
out.
actually cross political. That's every. It seems.
Yeah,
like
it's literally like
everybody.
every rich person, which probably had tons of blackmail.
I mean,
and all of
Stephen
them.
Hawking was there. That's nuts.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, that's speaking of.
Do you know who? You know who's doing?
Not speaking of that at all.
I'll tell you who's doing crazy stuff right now. It's our guy, our fellow relay person who is not doing a relay right now. He's doing
Tommy.
He's doing a solo speed project. Where do you think the speed project as it started to where it is now? Do you think that it's lost a little bit of its rebellious, kind of crazy nature?
Yeah, for sure. It's like every team is sponsored by a major brand.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's still a secret, but it's like the least
It's a
kept
secret? It's not a secret.
It's supposed to be a secret, right? Because there's no established
Unsanctioned.
Oh, right.
website that you can sign up for it or whatever.
It was-
Unsanctioned.
There is it has a thing that's I forget the tagline is, but it's something like
Oh.
trying to be secretive. Yeah, but now it does seem, it's to me, it's you don't hear about Ragnar's anymore. And I probably said this before, but it's sort of like Ragnar.
Yeah. I mean, and every time I see TSP, I think internet service provider, but it's not. It's
like that.
actually a race.
Yeah, so that kicked off. Now, what Tommy's doing, though, I think is pretty hardcore.
Tommy the Machine Runs.
Yeah.
Remember Tommy the Machine Gun from Rocky?
No.
That was the
Rocky 5. Right?
yeah.
Oh, see, I stopped after 2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they should add, I think he should add that to his Tommy Runs should add the machine
gun.
especially that he's doing this whole thing.
Yeah.
So as you were saying.
So yesterday was the first day. It was Monday.
So he's
And
running the whole thing solo.
I mean, I think he has
Which is
support crew and stuff. But he's
340
doing-
miles.
Okay.
And yesterday he did 66 miles on out the gate.
Really?
That might be a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, that's no joke. That's basically 100K, right?
And I think it
Yeah.
had 5,800 feet of elevation.
Okay. Well, that's even, jeez.
Yeah. So, and he did it. I don't know about the shoe choice. He did it in the Pro 4, the Adidas Adizero Pro 4.
That's a little harsh.
Great shoe.
Yeah.
But that's I mean, I said after I ran with Aubrey in Berlin that for a 4.5 hour marathon, my feet were not really loving it at that point, that I wish I had kind of gone with the Evo SL. So I'm like, Wow, 66 miles, 5,800 feet of elevation.
I mean, I loved it for a fast marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's-
I got my PR in it. So
I think it's
yeah.
ideal for that.
But right, as
like-
a all day running shoe, I don't know. I
So-
would. Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I would go with. We were talking about this. I would go with probably, honestly, like the Ultra Boost is not a crazy. The Ultra Boost 5X. It's not a crazy. Like it weighs. It's a. Remember the weight this year is like 10 ounces less than the
Yeah.
No, I still
Joe Nimbus.
For me, I think it's still over. Yeah, that's true. But
It's lighter than
I
a lot
even
of daily
wonder, though,
trainers.
like stability wise, because it is stacked. I was trying to think what shoe would I choose. I think the Evo would probably work.
Evo SL.
Yeah, Evo SL. What other Adidas shoe? Because I think he's sponsored by Adidas
Boss.
for this one.
The Boston.
Yeah, I would definitely do the Boston. That one could get a little firm too after.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
66
changing out
miles.
shoes maybe like halfway through.
Well, I was thinking. I mean, you could go with this one of the Supernovas, but those are a little like
Yeah.
heavier. But those are where all the cushion is.
All right, second check-in. The other thing that's nice is we're getting into that weather zone that I love, at least here on the East Coast, mid-Atlantic area, where I'm getting up. It was like 49 degrees today. I was able to put shorts on, long sleeve shirt, get out there, and it feels crisp and nice. This is the time that running feels great. Take a moment to appreciate that. Get out there, get your running. All right, Meg, the heat is back. It's time for LMNT summertime edition or spring summertime edition. I've been using the winter, but now I'm transitioning back into
Into the straight element packets.
with you know how I like it.
Yes. So if you're not familiar, LMNT is an electrolyte beverage. They come in very easy to mix little packages, have all the electrolytes you need, plenty of sodium to keep you hydrated. It helps with maintaining steady energy. It improves your cognitive function. You get less headaches, Robbie.
Oh yeah, I took 2 of those. I took like 2 or 3 of those after the Miami Marathon in the heat.
Whoa,
and
2 or 3? Whoa.
It brought me right back to life.
Okay.
Took my headache straight
The
right away.
cognitive functioning, I'm not sure it's working on me, but the rest is with the magnesium and everything. Regular water is boring after drinking this. I told Meg the other day I was making it, and I was like, I'm kind of addicted.
Yeah, and I love it for before the race as well as Robbie used it afterwards, but it also helps with muscle cramps and just keeping you overall hydrated and ready to go. So if you guys haven't tried it yet, you definitely need to. And if you just want to get a test of it, you can go to drinklmnt.com/thedrop, and then you can get an 8-count free sample pack. All right, one of our sponsors this week is SAYSKY. SAYSKY teamed up with Puma for a new collection that's making waves in the running world. Inspired by the ocean and that clean Scandinavian style, this collaboration brings you premium running gear designed for everyone, whether you're tackling your first mile or your 100th race. From the super cushioned Forever Run Nitro 2 to the speed-focused Deviate Nitro Elite 3 and a full range of apparel including singlets, shorts, and jackets. Each piece reflects the dynamic nature of the ocean, reminding us that life and running, like the sea, have their ups and downs. Experience the premium quality and unique design of the Puma and SAYSKY collection. Check it out now at saysky.com and use the code DROP15 to save.
The Evo SL probably the most likely choice.
Honestly,
right?
that would probably be what I'd choose.
I mean, Ultra Boost.
That's what. Yeah, so I was saying maybe.
You said Ultra. I thought you were talking about Prime X.
Oh no, the Ultra Boost.
Ultra Boost, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Ultra Boost could do it. Yeah, Prime X was the other one I was thinking of, but that's the one I was saying it's a little unstable. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to be working
Version
other
2?
muscles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the Adidas family, yeah. Or do you mean other shoes too?
Yeah, I was going to say if I was saying, hey, you're going to have to do 66 miles on the road with elevation, there's going to be walking and running involved. What shoe are you going to go with? Any brand?
Dude. Man, I don't know about that.
Do you know what you're choosing?
I have an idea of one I would choose.
What is it?
I actually think I would like and it's a weird pick, the Norda 005.
Oh wow.
I'm thinking like Max Cush, because like you're not going fast.
That's the thing. But I want light too.
I'd probably just go Super Blast, honestly.
I was thinking Super Blast. I was also thinking
RC Elite V4.
SC Elite.
SC Elite.
New Balance SC Elite V4. Yeah, I would do that one. I was also even thinking like Glycerin Max
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's interesting.
because it's
choice.
cushy.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, you're not going to be flying, but it
gives you a little bit of a rocker type thing.
You know what else could be a crazy out there pick? The Solomon S Lab.
the Aeroglide.
No, Spectre.
Oh,
Oh, Spectre. Yeah.
I was going to say Aeroglide would be good.
Aeroglide's good, but the Spectre was built for longer marathon running.
Or what about Mount Coast? Isn't that exactly what they were built for?
That's true.
Yeah. Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. Yeah, that's and by the way, not to say that Tommy made the wrong decision. He did do it. And
No, I'm not saying maybe.
Yeah,
I'm
just
saying
wanted
for
to
my feet.
Make sure. Like, yeah. He's all yeah, I feel like he's a much stronger athlete than I am, so he can probably manage that. Whereas I would
See,
break
that
down.
comes down to foot comfort for me. So I'm just thinking of foot
yeah.
comfort over that distance. Not, I don't know. Tommy did say his feet were hurting at the end of the run, but that's.
I mean, you could also,
probably
like, switch-
66 miles.
I
on
would
my
also
feet.
probably switch out at some point too.
Yeah.
Just depending on the terrain or elevation or whatever. But
I mean, one of my favorite things when I've done 50 milers is changing the shoes because it just.
yeah, it's just something about it.
Yeah,
Changing your socks, changing your shoes.
Yeah, it's like a reset.
Yeah.
Whoa, do you know what the solo record is?
2 days.
Lucy Schultz ran in 84 hours and 45 minutes.
How many days? That's 4 days.
3,
Yeah.
72 is 3 days, right?
3.5.
So yeah, 3.5 days.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
and what's the distance again?
340 miles.
So what is that if you divide
I mean,
that by
about
3?
100 miles a day almost.
Yeah.
95.
That's wild.
So a woman holds the record.
That's what it looks like.
That's pretty- that's pretty
2023.
sweet.
No way.
Like, I wonder if this is anything even Courtney DeWalter would be interested in because she just seems to destroy every record. She did
Right.
that. What was that race she did this past weekend where it was like basically straight up?
I think it was a 50K though.
But it was like a vertical 50K.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I did see that. Okay.
I saw someone, I guess, or maybe it was even her Instagram, posted her at the coming to the finish line, and they're like a course record and the second overall, and she's just like happy, smiling.
But I did see some of the action running. Dude, she's moving. Like when you
Yeah.
see her cruising,
Oh, yeah.
like it's impressive. Like, because you watch videos of people running all the time, and she was coming down, I guess, like a little bit of a downslope, and this woman was flying.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Like to be able, I'm not even talking about physical running that fast. I mean, just perceiving the ground and knowing, and not wrecking.
Yeah.
Is insane. Like
Yeah.
the way that you can navigate the ground.
And you know how we always talk about like sweat and stuff like that? She didn't look that sweaty.
No, I don't think she sweats.
Like it was insane.
She's running the Moab 240 or whatever.
When's that?
I mean, not Moab, the Cocodona
Yeah.
250.
Is Wo Max doing that as well?
I'm not sure.
I think he is.
Maybe probably.
The Satisfy.
Satisfy has a big presence at that race every year.
I wanted to ask you though, what was the one that because the Barkley marathons, didn't you put that in the email?
Yeah.
No winners.
Yeah, what was your analysis of that?
I don't know. I get this sense that, especially since last year when it was essentially conquered, when Jasmine Paris was the first woman to ever finish it, which lasted, no one would ever finish. I feel like it was like, okay, it has been done. And now this year, he lengthened it or added something to it. I don't know exactly what it was. I've heard different things, but it's clearly harder and more difficult by a good measure.
So you think he's like, oh, you guys thought that was fun?
Yeah.
Let's keep the Barkley
Right.
Marathon's legend going.
Right. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if it's, on one hand, it's like, okay, there's a harder challenge set out now. But at the same time, I'm like, so you could just do that in perpetuity.
Well,
And until,
the thing that was disappointing on it for me as a spectator or a fan was over before it got started. It was kind of like when you used to watch
Right.
a Tyson fight and he would knock the guy out in
Yeah.
the first round. You're like, I got all excited, got my popcorn out, got everything together, and here I am.
And this year was like pretty much perfect weather. Now it started later in the morning, which is kind of always difficult because it's hard to sleep during the night because you're all anticipating it's going to start at any time because it could start in that 12-hour window.
And it's just when Laz decides, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it basically started, I think, 20 minutes before the window closed. So that was tough. But at the same time, the weather was pretty solid. And some of the people that had run it are multi-year finishers who are very well versed in that course and the race. And they failed horribly, you know. I think one person got the quote unquote fun run, which is the first 3 loops in 60 hours. So it's like, or 40 hours, I'm sorry. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. To me, it kind of loses its allure in a way. And I feel like it had become like so popular anyways that it's like, okay.
Did they overcorrect? Though, but that's the same thing with the speed project, though, is I feel like you see it, when I say compared to Ragnar, you see it's more open to runners of all abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where maybe if you overcorrect, then it's a problem. But, you know, it's like you go to the Barkley marathons and you expect it to be hard.
Right.
But maybe he just made it too hard.
Yeah, maybe. And then I could be wrong. And maybe in 3 years, they'll figure it out, find out a strategy.
Oh, so you think this is the course now? Or
I don't
whatever
know.
he's
Yeah,
at?
maybe. I mean, probably. But it is always surprising to me how many people come into the race without like any orienteering skills or like, because a lot of it's navigational type things. And
Do you have any orienteering skills?
I used to. I forget a lot of it. I used to, because I helped lead some canoeing trips in the Florida Everglades, and this is before cell phones. So,
Do you have like a GPS thing?
no, just a compass and a map, and like you navigate between.
Yeah, there's no way I'm making
Oh,
it.
that's worse than MapQuest. Like having a printed out sheet to get to the ocean.
Because we were on the 10,000 Islands, which is on the coast, so it was like on the ocean, not deep in the Everglades. So, but you would have navigate from island to island, and there's so many of them that it was a little crazy. But pretty rudimentary navigation.
Like I feel like that's a different sport than running.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like I think a lot of the people who do it think I'm an awesome ultra runner. Like, how hard could it be? And then it turns out it's more navigational than running. So that's a totally different skill. And how many people are awesome at, because when you run an ultra race, it's all marked, it's all aid stations, whatever.
Yeah, you get mad if there's not a flag
Right.
at a turn.
And it's not like there's a bunch of compass nerds or like, what do you call
Orienteering.
yeah,
dudes?
what are the things where they hide stuff? Caching people,
Yeah.
like, that are great athletes. Usually they're just kind of,
They're like bird watchers.
yeah, basically. Anyways, so I don't know. It's still cool, but
If Laz doesn't exist, does that race exist?
yeah, that's tough because I think he's technically not the race director anymore. So
Okay.
it's like, but he still clearly has a hand in it.
Yeah.
He is like the overwhelming personality of
I mean, when
Right.
you think about it, that's
Yeah.
what you think about.
Yeah. But here's the thing is that there's a lot of other races now that are starting to fill that gap in a way because there's a lot of the backyard ultras, which are
Right.
pretty cool. And things like Cocodona, these huge mileage races that are chipping away, I think, at what it used to be. It used to be the outlier, like the only thing.
That's the thing, though. Like, who was I talking to? I was talking to someone on one of our interviews, and it was a time where if you did an ultra, you were kind of like out there.
Right.
And now it's like you'll talk to someone in like a run club, and they're like, "Yeah, we decided to do an ultra," and you're just like, "Oh, okay." So now it's like commonplace.
Right. I mean, how many people do we know that just signed up for JFK 50 mileage?
Yeah.
On a whim.
Yeah.
Which is going to be fun.
Well,
and Cam is running with us. You know who Cam is, right?
I think so.
He shows up at almost every of our
Okay.
events because he was doing the 6 stars, I think.
Okay.
And but he's a real nice guy. Like we'll be in Berlin, and he'll just pop up.
Okay.
He's going to do it with us, and he joined on the Believe team.
And then Lynn. But then Charles, the guy who from New York City, who I run with sometimes, he signed up for it.
All right.
It's with Lynn, so they're going to come down together.
All right.
Then
Is he? What's his? What's it? Do you know what his pace and stuff?
it's
is
like similar to mine, like in that I think he did New York in 3:30 or something.
Okay.
And then my coach apparently is also signed up for it.
Oh, weird.
Because
Nice.
told him yesterday that I was like doing the race. He's like, well, see you there, because that's my goal race for the year. So I was like, all right. But he's much faster.
It's gonna be a party at JFK.
Yeah, and then is Ober doing it? Did we get him
don't
in?
know.
I think he was like on
Okay.
the fence because he doesn't want to do a fast marathon and ultra at the same time.
right.
Which I told him just train for the marathon.
But it'll be a party. I'll have a good time.
Taylor Bodine's been trying to get Karl and I involved, and we are
Yeah, you guys have
holding
fun
out.
with that. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna
Dude,
have.
if Tommy can do 66 miles with 5,800 feet of elevation, we can.
I will say, I feel like everybody should do an ultra, even if it's just a 50K, because like if you're a road marathoner, because it pushes you past that mental hurdle of where a marathon is your like ultimate distance. So if you hit a 50K, it opens up how, like just your mental, what you can do. And I think that makes it easier for marathons.
I would equate it to like if someone's like, you have talked to people who have run a half marathon. They're like, oh, I could never run a full marathon.
Right.
You're like, yeah, you can.
you could.
It's different.
But then when you run a full marathon a few times, a half marathon is like nothing.
Yeah.
You're just like, I could do that on a normal training
Well, because
day.
you do it like 10
Right.
times during training.
But that's why I feel like with the marathon, the distance becomes shorter in your mind, I feel like, after you've run a 50K.
Well, I look at like Megan's mileage for the marathon that she's training for right now. And you've had 90-mile weeks. You're going to have a 100-mile week. So when you get to 26.2, and you're on taper, that doesn't seem like that far, right?
No, I mean, yeah, I see your point, Robbie, with the distance. I don't know. That 150 miler I think it broke me, and I have no desire to do it again.
This would be so different. That was a really tough course.
Yeah.
Like it really,
Yeah.
Between that one and the first one I did, yeah, I could see that never wanted to do one again. But this, I think you'd excel at.
Well, and I do love Hat 50K,
Yeah.
which is 31 whatever miles.
Which, shout out to, that was this past weekend.
Yeah.
Shout out to our trail reviewer, Matt Kaczarski, who ran like a 5 hour and
Did-
5-minute time or something.
It's amazing.
Paulie
Yeah.
G, he ran super fast. I think he might. I'm not sure if he was under 5 hours.
Didn't
Okay, and this is not the Jersey Shore guy, right? Okay.
Paul Gochar.
didn't our friend win it?
Oh, I didn't even see the Pat
Pat won.
Blair
Pat
win.
Blair
Yeah.
won,
I just
yeah.
assumed
If he signs up for it, it's
he's
over,
running, he
yeah.
won it. Probably in what, 3.5 hours?
I think something silly. Yeah.
Yeah, and our old coach Caleb ran it. He ran it in 2 hours and 40
Yeah.
minutes or something like that.
He used to run 7-minute miles in that course, or even 6-minute miles in that course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Picture that, Robbie.
What did Pat probably finish faster? Can you look it up?
Yeah.
The
That
thing
is-
is, you can
no, I
never get
can't
the
picture
course
that.
record because they keep the course record from before it was a 50K.
Right. Yeah. Which is kind of dumb.
Yeah, come on, guys.
That's not how it works. Let's see. It looks like his average pace was.
I like that Robbie's actually using his lace locker on his
Oh yeah.
shoe.
Well, I wore these to the jury duty. I rode my bike to jury duty yesterday. And it was in the rain, so I was.
It's a very clean looking
Tucking,
shoe. Robbie's wearing the we already said it, but the Arc'teryx shoe. It's pretty clean.
It's the
looking.
Norvin LD4. It's a Gore-Tex version.
Oh,
So that's why I wore it in the rain, so my feet did not.
did it do its job?
It worked.
So he won it in 3:55, but this is what's amazing. The guy who came in second was 30 seconds behind him.
No way.
So that's a close race.
Who was it?
Rob Hampson.
Okay. I don't know.
Better luck next time, Rob.
30 seconds is crazy.
30 seconds of
That's
that course is
frustrating.
For a
wild.
50K?
Yeah.
That's only for That's the other end of the field where you come in at.
Yeah.
You could see them both at the same
Yeah.
time. I'm
I
guessing.
will say
Like
when
less than 30 seconds, like 27.
So Matt finally got his redemption on this course because
Yeah.
he's had a couple of tough ones.
yeah, he did. So I will say it was Saturday morning and the weather was pristine.
Yeah.
It was like 42 degrees with a high of 52. I
What
was
shoes was he wearing?
This would have been the perfect hat day.
That got him 24th overall, Matt.
That's a good question. I don't know what shoes he was wearing.
I just
So,
am looking at the video.
Paul was we had like a thing for one of the Faster Bastards got married, and there was a thing at the Mobtown Brewery. Mm-hmm. But by the way, I asked for Summer Grit if we could have a light show there and DJ, and he thinks we can.
All right.
So it might be a ruckus party for Summer Grit.
Oh yeah. Mark the calendars. We don't know when.
Yeah, just circle all July.
All of July. Yeah.
But Paulie showed up, and apparently he smoked the course.
Wow.
Can you look up Paul Gochar's time?
Yeah.
And then but I could tell like he was there, but he was like visibly shaking.
Oh, he was right in front of Matt
Oh.
Oh, he
with a
was?
505.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What? Okay. That's
Which
insane.
is
That actually
it is
is-
insane. Like, yeah.
What's your best time on that course? 5:30.
5:45, I think.
Yeah.
Which I'm super proud of.
Yeah.
And like on that course, I've had everything from like that to I think close to like 6 something.
Yeah, I think I ran a 6:50 last year, but it was pouring rain most of the time.
Well, I really think it's who you are like running. If you can pair up with someone or
Yeah.
find like a groove, I think it's really tough. Course if it's inclement at all and you're by yourself, it's just a grind.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't even see the trails because it was so like there's just rivers coming down, and my ankles are horrible.
Yeah.
So that is the one thing I'm scared about the JFK 50 miler. I forgot all the leaves will be on the ground, like in the AT sections, and the AT's just rocks. That's gonna be a slog.
My plan for it is to be more conservative on the front half.
Yeah.
And then when we get down on the path, just find a groove and just try to stick with it.
Yeah.
Like, because it's going to be a climb in the beginning,
True.
and it's 50 miles.
I do think the lifting has maybe helped with my ankle business.
I would think so. I feel more sturdy.
It's got to have. Yeah.
I feel like I've had some close calls with rolling my ankle, but I've like been able to not, I don't know, fall. Because do you think lifting helps with the muscles around your ankle?
Yeah, because
definitely does.
Okay.
Well, it's your whole chain.
Okay.
So, like, if you're doing squats and you're even the press when you're holding the weights above,
Yeah.
you have to. Your whole body is
Okay.
working together to carry that weight.
Nice.
Megan, so I posted the video of me doing some
Yeah,
workout.
the hype reel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Karl put that together?
No.
You put it. You did it.
Yeah.
Nice.
The I mean,
I didn't know if it was for the WAHOO stuff. Okay.
nah. I mean, we did end up using it in the
We
water.
used some of it in the video, but whatever you put on Instagram was.
Yeah. The thing was, Megan was making fun of me because my weights look tiny.
We talked about it.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about the shaming last week.
Yeah.
She shamed you publicly.
Yeah.
As usual.
I mean, I'll do it again if you want to bring it up.
Nah, but I'm saying, yeah, I'm not throwing up like Arnold Schwarzenegger numbers.
Yeah.
No, and I said this last time. It's just that there's people that are using the big giant
I think they're called spacers.
weights that aren't that heavy, but they look big.
Yeah. Well, I said something to Emily at the gym. I was like, yeah, Meg was making a little bit of fun of me that, for the video I wasn't. And she goes, you can't use the spacers for that.
Yeah.
She goes, no, the iron ones are more impressive anyway.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, but they don't look as big. She goes, yeah, you can't do that.
No, there's none of that.
Because there's like 20 pound or 15 pound,
10
15
pounds,
pound
okay.
ones that look like the 45
Yeah.
plates.
Yeah, that's what I'd be using. Look at me.
Oh man.
We got to get you in there sooner or later.
No, I'm good.
All right.
Bone density, babe.
I will say I ran on Saturday morning. I did 10 miles with the Faster Bastards, which was the first time in a long time I've run with them. And I ran in the Tracksmith Eliot Racer again. Dude, For real, I love that shoe. It honestly might be one of my favorite shoes right now.
Okay.
But for racing or for running?
I mean, I obviously haven't run and race in them, but
Right.
like even just like up tempo,
Yeah.
like
See, I agree with you. It's great for that. For me, it's missing that extra kick.
You're right. It's
for
not
race day.
like I wore
But
the,
it's a great shoe. Yeah.
yeah, like I wore the Puma Fast R3 today, and it's like that. Okay, that's a racing shoe, like straight up. But the Eliot Racer, I'm like, this might be just my favorite shoe to run. I know it's $280, but it
you're
feels
talking
so damn good.
You're talking to a guy who said the Cielo X1 was
That's true.
Good running shoe. And I agree with you on the fact that I really enjoy running in the Tracksmith Eliot Racer. It, to me, feels like that middle ground between the Evo SL and the Pro 4.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah,
It's like if those two got smushed together.
Yeah.
To me, which is, I mean, it could be the perfect shoe. Like I say, oh, for race day, this and that. It actually could be the perfect race day shoe for me, running in the mid threes or so like that.
honestly, I wouldn't mind wearing it for a marathon. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels, and running just faster paces, like slightly faster. Like I did 8 minutes per mile, which is only 15 seconds slower than my marathon pace, right?
Yeah.
And that was for 10 miles. It just felt so easy, like just cruising along.
Did it also help though that like you were with the bastard, so you're kind of like in a group of people,
Right.
Like because I do
For sure.
I'll pick up the pace when we're with them, just because you're like,
Yeah, you're talking.
and even if it gets sometimes a little hard, you're just like, I'm just gonna hold the pace anyway.
But even then, it's like I talk to Dustin the whole time. It's not like I'm struggling to breathe or anything. So it's like pretty. I don't know. I'm shocked at how much I loved it. And people like, I know we get the weirdest comments on YouTube and stuff, but I wasn't planning on liking this shoe at all because the Eliot Runner is a lifestyle.
What's
shoe.
it have to do with the weird comments on?
Oh, because people are like, oh, if you say anything nice about a $280 shoe from Tracksmith, it's like you're for some reason shilling the brand, which I have zero interest in shilling Tracksmith shoes. Like I don't care.
Yeah,
They're just,
as a matter of
it's good.
fact, it would be an easy shoe to poop on.
Yeah, it'd be like, sometimes it's nice to just have a shoe that everyone's expecting to be garbage and you can say it's garbage.
I certainly was surprised. The shoe's much better than I thought it was going to be, only because it was taking so long to come out.
Right. Yeah, that can sometimes spell disaster.
You're like, what's going on? You can't figure it out. But overall, like, what do you think of the look of that shoe?
I'm a little like mixed on it. The sash thing is a little. It's fine on the Tracksmith singlets, but I don't know. I'm like, it's okay. I do feel like wearing it and running in it, feels good. Like I like the look of it.
I think you got to go with the sash though, because like,
Right.
what else are you going to put? The rabbit on the side?
So I think Tracksmith is probably internally trying to figure that out because the sash has just been, there's not much you can do with it design wise. And so you've seen the Boston singlets that they've
it's
had.
just like a paint stroke.
Right. And it's like, So I
Do
think
you
they're
lean
trying to
into the
figure that out.
rabbit?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. But I do think they need to, they're trying to play around with it, but I don't know. The sash on the shoes is okay, but
Are we going to try to get our London posters?
Yeah.
Okay. Third check-in. I don't know if you know this, but if you are getting ready for a marathon, don't forget that Believe in the Run has 2 things that Emily Saul has done for us to help you get prepared for your marathon the night before and the morning of. It's sort of like a meditation that is super helpful. I listened to it right before the Berlin Marathon, went to bed to her comments about being prepared for the marathon and how to release the anxiety and get ready for the day, get some good sleep. I slept better than I have, I don't know, anytime. And you know what? You don't need to wait till race day. You can go to our either Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast. You can get our pre-meditation, marathon meditation from Emily Saul. You can listen to that before a long run if you're feeling anxious about it, or even before you're going to go do speed work. So you should check those out. They're our gift to you. Thanks to Emily Saul, and use them. Great resource.
All right, so we have to give a quick shout out to our friends at Michael BONSBY HVAC, which is part of the Zephyr Home Services family.
I love the word Zephyr.
Based right here in Maryland, because we have had an interesting time and some fun issues with HVAC systems.
Dude, I never thought I'd struggle with HVAC. I went my whole life with no problems with HVAC.
Yeah.
And then this past year, between the stuff that's been going on at the office and the stuff at the home, never had so many issues.
Yeah, so I won't name the other company, but anyway, the Michael BONSBY team came out and they helped us with our system recently, and they were amazing and super friendly, and I'm very happy that they exist. And we always talk about recovery and sleep and everything on this podcast, but you shouldn't overlook the HVAC system so that you have a comfortable house.
I mean, it's basically a bigger, like, Sleep Me Uller. It's the whole house.
Yeah. And the reason that we even are connected with them is because they are also runners, which is fun. And so if you have issues with the HVAC system, or you just should get it checked, which you need to do before something tragic happens.
Like ours.
Yeah. You can go to michaelbonsbyhvac.com and request a service. And if you mention Believe in the Run, you will get $50 off.
Boom.
Did you see that Steph Bruce was signed by Tracksmith?
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, she was wearing the shoes. Someone commented on it when we were from our New York City, at the New York City half, our discussion on that. And they said they had seen her wearing the Tracksmith shoes, and they announced today that she's now officially sponsored.
Is that a good move?
I mean, she got dropped by Hoka. So.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I
Like,
think so.
the only question I would have is that, so I think in positioning, if you look at the brands, you see, like, Bandit is certainly going after a certain athlete. There's starting to be perceptions about the brand, and I don't know. I think that Tracksmith has always sort of supported, I don't want to say the underdog because that doesn't feel right, but like the runner who has a full-time job. the amateur athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Steph is kind of, I mean, she's on the older side. She's probably not going to set crazy PRs. Maybe she will. But I feel like that falls in line with that same sort of persona.
Yeah, I just wonder. Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I just wonder if you're trying to also project of moving forward into the future, picking up an athlete that's going to be not as...
But yeah, but also, like, who are you going to get that's someone else isn't going to get with the Tracksmiths?
Yeah.
So that's what, I guess.
I don't know. Do they have VC money coming in like Bandit does?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want that Bandit?
Bandit has that long runway of VC money.
I mean, still, but Bandit did a great job with the unsponsored people, grabbing them up. And that I don't think that was a big expense.
Yeah, but I also think they use Tracksmith's template for that.
Yeah.
The whole amateur program. I mean, the Bandit thing of running in the black singlets or whatever for the trials, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was a good idea. But yeah, they with Tracksmith, the other thing that was weird about the Eliot Racer was, like, did you feel that it was kind of like a muted? It kind of came out, but there wasn't much around it. I don't know.
Well, they did. That? They took everybody down to Miami, a lot of influencers, and like, it didn't seem like.
I think what
a lot of
happened
noise
is that
came
they
out of it.
shifted the launch date. Because initially it was supposed to be Tokyo, which was also that weekend,
Okay.
right?
Maybe.
But it seemed like it got shifted a little bit. So I think maybe that's where some of the hype got.
Okay.
And maybe
I could be making that up.
Yeah, maybe the algorithms changed, but also, like, some of the same people went to the Diadora thing, and I didn't see a ton of stuff coming out.
Saw some stuff, yeah, but I don't know. I just, not even in that regard. I just meant, like, I don't know. I could just be not as online anymore, maybe.
No, I don't. I don't think they made a huge splash like some of the other race shoes,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
but
Man, what was I gonna say about that?
You were gonna say something about the Puma's new campaign with "Then I Got High" with
yeah.
Afro
That
Man.
was good.
That's like my favorite.
They told us about it, and I was like, "This sounds really good." And then you see the execution. I was like, "This was really well done." I think one of the coolest things about it is where it plays in that land in between, like the Run Happy and the, this is so hardcore Nike kind of stuff. There's that gray area where it's like it can play to the more casual runner, but it can also play towards the more serious runner. So it's a really unique position.
Yeah, they nailed that for sure. To get Afro Man to re-record it with new lyrics as well is amazing.
Yeah.
Did you see how many views that reel had?
No.
Like, I checked it a couple days ago. It was like 25 million.
That's incredible.
That's a hit
good
campaign.
yeah.
Like, I don't know if I've seen any. Honestly, I don't know if I've seen. Obviously, they boosted it with
money.
spending money, but like, have you seen 25 million is a lot for an Instagram reel?
And not just that though, but it's the humor hits.
Yeah.
It doesn't play down to you. It doesn't make it corny.
That's great.
I thought it was really good. I wonder, how it's going to translate to, like, we're going to see, like, when I love watching Bima's reels. There's a collab lab with Bima, and he's usually pretty point on with like talking about Brad things. And he asked a question: should they continue to do this or do another collab with a different artist? And I'm like, there's too much meat on the bone with this one. Like, I'm excited to see how they're gonna like keep playing out that.
Right. Yeah, you should definitely keep that going.
Yeah. Until it's kind of played out. But I think there's plenty of room for you to do more funny stuff. But he was like, you better be doing a 420 campaign.
Yeah, I think they wanted to. I don't know if we're gonna see it though.
Hey.
They should have leaned into it as much as they could. But
I'll just tell Pima this. We found out that one of their ideas they wanted to do was pretty on the nose for that. But Germany, I think, got a little bit cautious with pushing it through.
Oh, it would have been awesome. But I don't know if we're gonna see it at Boston. But I was gonna say, you are right though, that it hits perfectly in between that the on whatever image they're trying to portray with the soft winds, which is soft, or the Nike, which is like super hard, and it is like a perfect balance.
It doesn't alienate anybody in the running sphere. Like I feel like that's everybody from Aaron Azar's audience to like Ben is running or somebody like that hardcore. They can all feel a part of that campaign.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But anything else? Well,
I guess we should
Talk about the shoe.
The Veja. Meg, break it down.
I guess we're talking about a bunch of shoes this episode. So
Yeah.
But this episode we're gonna bring up the Veja Condor 3
Advanced.
This is like it went to regular school and then got its master's.
Which, look, the Veja, this is kind of a lifestyle shoe, let's be real. But the last year's version...
You know how you know it's lifestyle? At the party that I was at the Mobtown, Jared Kilberg was wearing Veja.
But how much, the last version of the Condor, I mean, I wear that shoe all the time. I love that shoe. It's like
you were wearing it today.
It's probably my favorite, like, lifestyle shoe.
Why were you wearing that versus that to run home?
Because I was waiting to run. I haven't run in these. Oh no, I didn't run home in those. I ran home in the Puma Fast R, and then I switched out.
You jogged home from here in the Puma Fast R?
Well, it was like an actual run. Like I was gonna run today, so I just did a 5-mile run. Like I didn't jog straight home. I did a real run.
I was like the mile and a half. You're like blazed.
No, I did. I did a 5-mile run in this shoe, and then I wasn't gonna walk back to work in the Fast R, so I switched into the Veja. But I loved it. I've worn that for the last year all the time, and as a running shoe, it's okay. I put in that shoe as like, if you want to run 3 miles in it, 3 to 5 miles. If you're
it's passable. It's a gym shoe. You could also do cardio in.
If you're traveling or on vacation, I think they did a good job with that. first two versions of the Condor were complete trash to run in, but then they actually made these ones nice. And what's the difference, Meg?
They're saying versatility is the biggest difference. So they said it's been redesigned for more responsiveness. The midsole now includes a non-expanded EVA-based dynamic plate. It replaces the original L foam cushion, so more stability and
dynamism.
Why can't I say that word?
Dynamism?
Dynamism. There we go.
Gotcha.
And it says the addition makes the shoe more rigid, allowing for faster runs,
Nice.
but still with the cushioning of the Condor 3.
What's a non-expanded EVA plate?
It has not been expanded.
I'm guessing it's just a...
AI.
well, it's what they did was they probably just took EVA before it was expanded, but they didn't blow it up, so it's just a hardened piece of EVA, or
It's stiff.
I don't think it's the puck,
Okay.
but
The other change is so they simplified the lacing a little bit. So the cage has been widened, and I guess there's one less eyelet.
It also seems like I don't recall the heel counter.
right, that clip
on there.
I don't think they had that before.
And they said something about the more abrasion rubber or something.
The outsole. Sorry,
Yeah.
I got these allergy coughs going on.
It's less abrasive.
I do think it's a fun looking shoe. It's the thing about it is that this is also how much, Meg?
$200.
$200. And this is a case. Could you come up with any reason why this might be?
Oh yeah, no, I can.
Yeah.
This is like the only shoe that one of the very few shoes that I feel like actually justifies a $200 price tag, which is I think Nord does.
I think there's a couple shoes that
No, there are.
justify a higher price tag, but
I
this
think-
one there's specific reasons.
Yeah, so this is Veja is probably the most sustainable brand on the planet, which I don't think a lot of people know about, but a lot of other brands say they're sustainable and
Yeah.
blah 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 whatever. But they actually, all of their product I think is made in Brazil,
Yeah.
and sourced from Brazil. So it's like all the footprint is all within a certain.
And even they create living spaces for their
Yeah.
employees in Brazil. So
Like they have like good healthcare, good living spaces, vacation, like all these benefits that people usually don't have. And
like the rubber comes from Brazil.
yeah,
The foam is from Brazil.
so the overall carbon footprint's like super low. They don't do any marketing. Everything's word of mouth. So it's all paid for. Like, I mean, they have like PR and stuff, but so like when they make shoes, it's just kind of like we're making them this many for this. It's pretty cool, actually.
Well, if you think about it, like I'll make up a brand, something about lots of birds, maybe all of them.
Yeah.
They may say that they're eco-friendly and using eco-friendly materials, but then they're shipping them to China on a boat. They're coming back. They're going back
Sourcing
and
from
forth.
5 different countries.
So by the time you get the product that looks like it's all natural and that it's actually all these
Right.
carbon emissions from travel and bringing the product together, and then even I even think it's strange sometimes. Like this clearly came in a water-based ink box that was like raw cardboard or
Yeah.
whatever. But like sometimes you even see that they'll like you get a shoe and like the packaging is like it's like we have to throw it out. We're like it's just as bad as anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think that there's ways that you could justify the price point for this shoe.
Yeah. And I've like the pair that I had from last year, I beat them to hell, and they're still fine, super comfortable to walk in. Like I've used them a lot for walking and just general use.
Yeah, but if you're comparing it to like a race day shoe that's $200, you're not getting the performance out of this. You're getting
Right.
durability,
Yeah.
and the consciousness of
Yeah.
less emissions.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of brands that say they're eco-friendly, or sustainable, or support workers. But this is, as far as I can tell, the only brand that like truly does it top to bottom. And I think that there's value in that. I think if you want to charge, if people are going to buy your shoes, and you can, pay that to pay employees and do it in a morally or ethically conscious way, I think that's cool.
Yeah, Megan and I will be reviewing the Diodora Atomo Star for YouTube today. And that's another shoe that's more expensive.
Right.
And I do think that one, again, has mitigating reasons for the expense. But I don't think, like when someone makes a $200 shoe, it's not for everybody. And they're probably the amount of production that they're making out of the shoe.
Right.
They don't need to sell the number that
Yeah.
a Nike or somebody else has to sell to make it a successful shoe for them.
Right. Yeah, I just think that this expectation that something has to be cheap for the sake of being cheap or whatever, it's like, I don't know why, especially if the actual quality is there where it's being sourced in a way that's, I don't know, that's, ethical, then that should be something you pay for.
For some reason, running shoes seem to be a commodity to people. So that when we talk about running shoes, when we talk about pricing, sometimes it is a brand thing. Sometimes, hey, this brand can command that price.
Yeah.
So if you want to get it, it's kind of like watches. You really can get a Seiko or a Casio or something that it's going to do the exact same job as a Rolex or anything like that. It's going to maybe even better, be more accurate, tell the time, tell you the date, and you can spend that. But for, I don't know what it is about shoes. People expect it like, okay, I should be able to get this shoe from this brand for the same price as I get from that brand.
I think it's because if the running experience is the same or close enough, how does it constitute a price tag that's twice as much?
But that's
if
what
I'm getting
saying.
The same amount of miles, 400 miles. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying about a watch, like a digital watch.
Right, true. Yeah, no, you're right.
Is as good as
tells the time.
Yeah.
Both tell the time.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, that I think is more of a direct comparison. Like, hey, you need to know what time it is?
Yeah.
All right. Get the $10 CVS watch. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like the shoes, there's style, there's engineering, there's all this stuff involved that,
Yeah.
I think I'd still, I guess I'm not jaded by the shoes. I know that there's people have budgets and stuff like that. And there's plenty of good $150 choices right now that are brand new shoes that are great.
Stuff on sale.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
But at the same time, I like when we get comment after comment on a shoe that like, oh, it's that, no way I'd pay that. No, like, okay, well,
Yeah.
you don't have to.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't buy $130 Moth Tech.
Yeah.
Like if someone wants to buy it, okay, all right. Like if they're selling them, someone wants to buy it, so okay. Like I don't know why it's concerns. There's like I don't know. I feel like I used to get mad about that stuff too. So maybe I get it.
What was the emotional thing that you were getting? Did you feel like you were like it was gatekeeping? Like.
Yeah, I think people just think, especially if you don't know the behind the scenes stuff. I think people are like, they're just doing this because they can do this. Like they're greedy and they want your money. They're making a product for $130 nobody needs it. You know what I mean? And then I think there is just some, whether you want to admit it or not, there is some sort of jealousy or greed factors that come into that. Even though I think it's just human nature to want like something that someone else has,
or
and
to want something that is exclusive.
Yeah.
So, like for example, like if you're gonna go buy a collared polo style shirt, you can easily go to Old Navy right now, pick up a $14 polo shirt, or like Izod and that's coming back strong Lacoste. You can go spend $110 on a plain polo tee.
Yeah.
There's something nice when you go out. If you are say you're going to a fancier event or something like that, there's something nice about going out in something that is maybe the material's a little bit nicer, and that it's probably not the price difference between the two nicer, but a little more exclusive, a little nicer, makes you feel better. I think there's also the flip side of that is some people, if you're wearing something nice and they're not, then there's that piece of like, like
social.
It's a social thing.
No, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, I look at, again, to bring up Jared, he came in this suede jacket that I absolutely adore. Like, he looked amazing. The guy's got amazing taste.
Yeah.
And he sent me some links. I was like, I got to see that. He sent me some links. There's no way I'm spending that on a jacket. But I'm not mad at him for having it.
Yeah. I mean, people love to tell. This is always the case whenever you see like a football player or celebrity who donates like $50,000 to someone, like they're like, oh yeah, well he could do it. He has $1 million. And it's like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like you're here commenting on a Facebook post. Like they're like, he should have given $100,000. It's like, how about you just not tell people to do with their money?
Yeah.
Like, because anyone who does that I know is probably it's the same thing. It's just when people leave, I feel like angry or comments or personal comments on our stuff. It's like you just have to not respond because you know it's something that's going on in their own lives. That's sad.
Yeah.
Like nobody.
It's their insecurities
Right.
that are
Exactly
on display.
I'm getting ready for it. for the Diodora shoe being, what is it, 240? Mm-hmm. For the Atomo Star, yeah. Now, I'm going to give you some reasons why it might be worth it. But, yeah, I'm sure there's going to be the regular comments.
Yeah, and it's even no matter how you frame it.
Yeah.
People are just, if they have their mind made up.
Because they're not even going to watch the video. They're just going to
I know
go there
people-
and be like, ah!
I know people like watching our stuff just to hate watch it. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's such a waste of your time. You know
who's
Whatever,
not, wait,
let
you
'em
know-
watch it.
You know
Give
who's
us the
not
views.
getting hate watched? You and Karl, man. You guys
Got a
are
lot of
getting a
love.
lot of love.
We got that chemistry going on.
Yeah.
No, bro, I know.
I
like
know.
where-
I'm like, what shoe can we do next?
Francis Crick and Watson over here, discovering the double helix in person, live in the flesh.
Yeah. It's good. But yeah, so we're getting positive feedback there. And that's nice.
Yeah, I like that. It's good.
Karl's becoming a low key star. He's resisting.
I know.
Resistant, what are you talking about?
Like you're not like thirsty for it. You're like, I'll do it. When
He's
I
a
get
respectable
around to it.
amount for
I
it.
do, yeah.
Wait till we go to Boston. All the ladies are clamoring over him.
Yeah, if you're going to be at the Scream Tunnel, let me know. We can set something up, I think.
Also, I think that you should walk around with your Crown and Pimp cup when we're in Boston, like just regular on the street.
Dude,
That could be rich.
Wellesley Scream Tunnel, Kiss Me Karl sign.
Ooh.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Boom.
Hashtag.
Both spelled with a C.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
People, his name's spelled with a K.
Yeah.
That's the only funny thing is like people who are sending him love are like, I love Karl with a C.
Yeah, not Carl
Yeah.
Weathers.
Yeah, not Karl Weathers.
He's gone.
I know.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. All right. Speaking of rest in peace, we should probably
I
put
think
this
so.
thing to sleep.
Karl, you know who you have to say goodbye to.
You got to do it first.
Hi, Ma.
Hi, Robin.
Okay.
It doesn't get any better.
It's a good stretch, got my laces tied. My trusty podcast by my side. If you wanna talk